Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Sierra from Sierra T Designs, and today I have a watercolored galaxy background card for you. So let's jump right in. So I started here, I actually pre-cut my paper down, and I've stuck it down to a hardboard with some purple tape, and I'm going to do a wet on wet technique with my watercolors. So here I've got the Mijello Mission Gold watercolor set, and I'm gonna just walk you guys through this pretty quick because I've sped up the painting quite a bit. This is not how fast I paint. That would be pretty crazy, but I don't paint this fast. This is sped up, I think, about 3 times. And the fun part about galaxies, whether you blend color, whether you watercolor, however you want to create a galaxy, they look like a huge mess until you add the stars, I find. And I'll be honest with you, throughout this process, I actually didn't like it. I didn't like how it was turning out. I didn't like what I was doing, but I stuck with it because I know in watercolor that's a big part of the process is just sticking with it and seeing how it ends up because it can be quite different than what you think it's going to be. So I'm just slapping down colors that I really like. I used a pink, a purple, a blue, and a green from the Mijello set, and I'm just slapping them down haphazardly. And then here you can see that I do take a paper towel and I just blot up on the edges where the color has pooled. So through this, I'm going to be using the Zen Royal and Langnickel brushes. I have a 3/4 inch flat brush, which is we're laying down the water with, and then I have a 12 and an 8-inch round brush, and that's what I'm going to use for the whole pieces here. And then here we're on the second one, and this one I'm going to use the side of the brush to lay the color. I think this one worked out a little bit better because it was the second one and the first one was kind of a test run. I'm using the side so that it ends up a little bit more gas-like, if that makes sense, like a little more cloudy. So there's just a little bit of more added texture there. And I mean, we are going to cover this up, excuse me, with some black at the end to create this galaxy, but I still wanted the colors to kind of look a bit textured, and the paper is quite textured as well. This is the Canson watercolor paper, the 140-pound cold press paper, and I'm just kind of mixing colors around and I'm just laying them down. On this one I used a little bit less. I only used a blue, a green, and a purple, so I cut one color out because it kind of made it a little bit easier. Now you can see here that I have dried my colors, and I dry my colors between every layer. I didn't show you that because it didn't seem necessary and it takes up a lot of time, but yeah, every layer that I laid of paint, I dried the colors each time so they would layer on top of each other. And then here I took the black, I watered it down, and I'm just laying it on top of the color. And here you can see that I'm pausing because I don't like it. I don't like how it's looking. I don't like it at all. But if we stick with it to the end, you'll see that they turned out pretty neat. And here I'm going to show you that I do actually dry it. I dried it on every layer, so I just didn't show it because I will only show it to you this one time. Just that you can see that I am using my embossing gun because that's the only heating tool I have. Just make sure that it moves consistently the whole time that you're trying to heat it, because otherwise it can like start to burn the paper. It's too hot to just be drying. This isn't what the tool is meant to be used for, so just keep it moving if you decide to use your embossing tool to dry anything. So I added a second layer and I'm still not liking it, and you can see that it dried. So in this one I decided to try something a bit different. So I took my flat brush, which is the same flat brush I used to lay the water to begin, and I watered down my black a lot. And then I'm kind of just laying a really light wash of the dark color and kind of adding some texture with the brush. This is because on the first one, when I left some gaps, the colors were so vibrant still that it looked weird to me. I didn't really like how bright and vibrant the colors were. So on this one, I laid just a light wash of the black down, a very watered down wash. And then I come in a circular motion again, trying to create more of a gas structure. And then this is going to dry, and we're going to move on to the big reveal here pretty quick, which I always think is so fun in watercolor. I love when the people pull back the tape and you get to see the piece all finished, and it's just I just love that. So I'm always kind of excited when we get to that piece, which is going to come up here in a sec. I'm just adding a little bit of darker black in to add more of a shadow, more of a dark texture to my watercolored galaxy. And you know what, honestly, still at this point, I'm not a big fan of it. But you'll see when we hit the splashes, this like the speckles of stars, that it turns out pretty neat, and I end up quite liking them, but it took a little while to get there. So I promise you, if you just keep working at it, likely you'll come out with something that you love in the end. You just kind of have to keep trying. So here we go. I'm going to rip back the purple tape, and make sure that when you remove any tape, whatever you're going to use, washi tape, purple tape, make sure that you fold it back on itself. It's less likely to rip up your paper if you're folding the tape back on itself as you pull it. So you can see here that I have it like flat to itself, and I'm pulling it back consistently. And this is a real-time clip so that I could just show you the watercolors as they were revealed on the hardboard. And then we're going to move over to some splashes. So here I just have them on top of a paper towel. I've taken some Liquitex Basics acrylic paint, and I have titanium white is what I have now. And then I've just watered it down quite a bit, and now I'm just going to splash on some white speckles for stars. And I add a lot of stars. I really wanted a lot of texture in the background. And originally when I was making these, because I've never made them before, I was actually trying to make some backgrounds for ATCs, but those are artist trading cards. But I love the background so much that I ended up turning them into cards. So that's how we ended up here. It was pretty cool. So I also took some Liquitex Basics acrylic paint, and this is the gold. And I flicked that on as well, just to add a little bit more. I love gold, so I thought it'd be kind of a fun added paint. And then I also took Ink on 3's liquid pixie dust and added a little bit of that to the backgrounds too, to add a little bit of shimmer and shine. You can't really see it in camera, sadly, but in person it looks really pretty, and I quite liked it. So off screen, I took the My Favorite Things A2 Stitched rectangles, the largest and the second largest in the set, and I cut down the backgrounds. I used the second largest for the galaxy part, and I used the largest one to cut down this metallic paper. This is the Tim Holtz metallic craft stock, and all the supplies will be listed and linked down below if you want to check them out, just so you know. So if I ever forget to mention something, I promise that it will be listed down below. And this is my little trick when I have like a very textured paper going onto a very slick paper. I will take a CD case, which kind of hard to find, but I will take a CD case because they're almost the same size as the card, and I'll lay it on top of the card, and then I stick it under my Gemini Go because that sits on my desk and it's quite heavy. It's little, it's compact. So I'll just use that CD case, and then I set it underneath my Gemini Go just to get it to adhere flat and really well. So that's kind of my little trick there. And then here's what we're going to use for our sentiment. So this is the Tonic and Scrapbook.com Hold On to Your Dreams die set. It is a word and a background die, like it cuts out the outline of the word die. And I just thought it was so pretty, and I really wanted to use it, and I thought it fit so well to this. So I do actually use my Gemini Go to cut these out. I used the same metallic papers that I used for the backgrounds, and then I used some vellum, some Bazzill white vellum to do the sentiments, because I wanted you to be able to see through it, but I still wanted the words to pop well. So I thought the vellum would be kind of a perfect way to mount them to the background so that you could still see through to the galaxy background, but that the cardstock would still stand out nicely. These metallic papers from Tim Holtz are just beautiful. They're craft stock, sorry, not papers, but they're just stunning in person. I'm going to show you here at the end. I'll lift up the cards and I'll tip them into the light so you can see all the shimmer and shine in this between the metallic craft stock and the Pixie, the Ink on 3 liquid pixie dust. And I'm going to add a couple of gems here when we get there. And you can see there that I added a little too much glue, so I just pounced it onto my glass mat. My glass mat is so easy to clean off. I pounce stuff on it all the time. I'm a messy crafter, especially with glue, I find. And with this, I'm just using the Gina K Connect glue, and I'm just putting small dabs behind the letters so that they don't squeeze out. So you'd be able to see a little bit of it in the vellum. Not a lot. It wouldn't be distracting from your message, but I just like to have it look kind of clean, and I don't like gobs of glue. So I find if you just pounce them down, you can remove that. And I'm just going to put that right in the center of the card. I eyeballed it. You could absolutely measure this, or put it against the background to the glass mat there. Sorry. Whew. using words today is a little hard. And then you can see that I did take some foam tape. This is the Brutus and Monroe foam tape, the 1/2 inch foam tape, and I covered the whole back, and then you can see I'm using my pick tool just to get the backing off. I really struggle to get the backing off. I'm not sure if it's me or it's my nails or I don't know, maybe I just struggle a bit with it and then I dropped it. So these are going down on side fold, A2 size side fold cards. And then I decided I wanted to stamp the inside. Now, generally, you should really stamp the inside before you've stuck all your stuff down, but because I have my Misti and I can use that pretty easily, I generally just do it anyways afterwards, even though I should have done it before. But that's okay, that's what the Misti's for. So I have Wilted Violet, that's going to go in the one that was stuck onto the purple craft stock. And I'm just going to stamp that down. And this stamp set is actually from Simon Says Stamp. It's a beautiful quote about rainbows and finding your dreams, and I thought that was really fitting with the hold on to your dreams sentiment that I put on the front. I thought that was quite fitting, and it's just a beautiful sentiment, and it could be for anything, right? I mean, hold on to your dreams could apply to many things. So I thought these were just kind of really beautiful cards to send to anybody, and then the galaxy is just kind of a dreamy beautiful effect that I think is just really fun to look at and enjoy. And then the second one here I did in Peacock feathers. That would be the one that has the more teal colored craft stock background. And I did stamp it twice. I didn't get quite a great impression the first time. And then after I've stamped that down, I'm going to take some Pink Fresh Studios Jewel Mix. This is the essential set. And I took the black gems and they are beautiful. They're hard to see against the galaxy background right now, but I am going to hold the cards up here in a second and you'll see how stunning these jewels are in person. They're just beautiful. And I'm using my katana to move them, my crystal katana, and lay them down. And I use the Gina K glue again to stick them down. So I just find these jewels. This whole mix, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's linked down below if you'd like to check it out. The whole mix is just stunning. I love adding gems to my cards though, so that's kind of a personal thing, but I like the shine and the bling. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. Here's the close-up of those cards. You can see all that shine and shimmer. I'll have a coordinating blog post linked down below if you'd like to check it out, and all the supplies are linked down below as well. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment if you have any questions or any suggestions, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I post a new video every Monday, and I would love to have you back. Thank you so much for stopping by and visiting with me, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.